Hello, my dear children. How are you? I hope all of you are keeping fine. I think you have seen the first lesson, Adventures in the Banyan Tree, through the Victor's channel. Now we are going to see the second lesson in that unit, The Snake and the Mirror, written by Vaikom Muhammad Bashir. Have you heard about Vaikom Muhammad Bashir? He is a very famous Malayalam writer. All his stories are very, very famous. You may have studied at least some of his stories. പാത്തുമ്മയുടെ ആട്, മതിലുകൾ, എൻ്റെ ഉപ്പാപ്പയ്ക്ക് ഒരു ആന ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു, etc. etc. Before coming to the story, let us see the profile of Vaikom Muhammad Bashir. You can see the profile here. Watch it.
Vaikom Muhammad Bashir. Vaikom Muhammad Bashir, who is fondly remembered as Beipu Sultan, is a humanist, freedom fighter, novelist and short story writer hailing from Kerala. He is noted for his disarmingly down-to-earth style of writing that made him equally popular among literary critics as well as the common man. His notable works include ബാല്യകാലസഖി, ശബ്ദങ്ങൾ, പാത്തുമ്മയുടെ ആട്, മതിലുകൾ, എൻ്റെ ഉപ്പാപ്പയ്ക്കൊരാന ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു, ജന്മദിനം and അനർഘ നിമിഷം. He was awarded the Padma Shri in 1982.
Okay, you have seen the profile of Vaikom Muhammad Bashir. Now let us come to the story. The name of the story is The Snake and the Mirror. The Snake and the Mirror. It is a story of a young doctor, a young homeopath doctor. The homeopath doctor was staying in a rented room. Do you know what is rented room? A room for rent. വാടകയ്ക്ക് ഒരു വാടക മുറിയിലാണ് ഈ ഡോക്ടർ താമസിക്കുക. He was a very poor doctor. He was not rich. He had not enough money. And he says he had only 60 rupees with him. Only 60 rupees. And only one coat for him, the coat of a doctor. Only one pair of coat. Because he was poor. And he was living in an old room. Not a good furnished room. An old room. It was an old house actually. The house was full of rats and other insects like mosquitoes, cockroaches, like that. Actually, he was familiar with all the animals and creatures there in the room. He was used to that. One day, after supper, the doctor came to the room and he was sitting on a chair. He decided to learn something, study something. He started reading a medical book. There was a mirror placed on a table. A mirror. And what will happen when we see a mirror? Definitely we will look into that. Don't you look into mirrors? Mirrors. Why do you look into the mirror? You want to see your reflection. You want to check whether you are okay. You want to check how can you improve your beauty to look more handsome, to comb your hair, like that. And naturally, the doctor also had the tendency to look into the mirror. After looking into the mirror, he too had the same feelings. He was checking his hair, whether it was okay or not. He was enjoying the shape of his face. He was planning, I should be more and more handsome. When I get rich, I have to be a smart, cute doctor, very handsome, and to build a house, and to earn a lot of money, and to marry another doctor, lady doctor. He dreams of marrying a doctor, a rich lady doctor. Why? Because he is not rich. If he can marry a rich doctor, lady doctor, he can also be rich. So he is a doctor, naturally he can marry a lady doctor. He plans, he dreams. Another special thing about his dream was this. He plans to marry a fat lady. Do you like to marry a fat lady or a slim lady? Naturally, everyone will like to marry a slim lady. But this doctor wanted to marry a fat lady. Do you know why? The doctor feels that after the wedding, after the marriage, in their life, if there is any problem or any quarrel between them, any fight between them, he can easily escape from her. How? If she is very fat, he can run away if there is a fight, and she will not follow him easily. She will not be able to run after him if she is very fat. A strange idea, right? A strange desire of the doctor. Anyway, he was planning all these things, looking into the mirror by enjoying his own beauty on the mirror. Suddenly, a strange thing happens. He hears some sound from the top of the roof. It can be rats. Okay, every day he hears that sound. Nothing special, nothing strange. He continued watching onto the mirror. But suddenly, a huge thing fall down from the top onto his shoulder. Something like a rubber tube, a heavy thing like a rubber tube, a cycle tube. It was a snake, a cobra, a big, poisonous, strong cobra. What will be the reaction of the doctor? What will be your reaction if you are in that place? Terrified, struck with fear, cannot move. The doctor was not able to move. He liked to go away, to run out of the room, but he could not do that. He was shocked. He sat in terror. He was sitting like a statue. The snake was on the shoulder. Actually, it coiled itself on one of the hands of the doctor. And after some time, the snake started moving downwards. The other was still there. The doctor was still there without doing anything. He was helpless. What can he do? His heart beat fast. Even though he is a doctor, he doesn't know what to do. If the snake bites him, what should he do? He doesn't know. He was confused. Luckily, after some time, the snake saw the mirror on the table, and it curiously looked into the mirror. We know that naturally animals won't look into the mirror. Maybe the first time this snake is seeing its own reflection on a mirror or seeing a mirror. The snake saw its own reflection on the mirror and it was amazed. The snake was amazed on seeing its own reflection. That may be thinking that there can be another snake there in front of him, maybe. And the doctor feels that as he did earlier, the snake also started enjoying its own beauty. The snake started enjoying its own beauty. It was looking onto the mirror closely and standing still. And after some time, the snake slithered from the body of the doctor and came closer to the mirror on the table. Again, the snake was still looking at the mirror. By that time, what did the doctor do? Quickly he ran out of the room to escape. He ran away. He did not turn back. He ran and ran and ran and reached the house of a friend. He told everything to the friend about his experience, about the snakes, about the mirror. And the friend said, "Don't worry, you can stay here, you can sleep here this night." The doctor stayed there that night. Next day, the doctor came back to the room with two friends. He was amazed, shocked. The door was open last night. Don't you remember? He ran away. He forgot to close the door. A thief had come there. A thief had come there and had taken everything that he had in the room. What all things he had there? 60 rupees in a purse and a coat. Only one coat was there for him, the coat of a doctor. Only one coat was there. The thief had taken everything away. Nothing was there. Just imagine the situation of the doctor. Only one thing was left there, an old dirty vest of the doctor. It was a shame for the doctor. The thief had not taken that vest also. He left that vest there and he had lost everything. And this is the experience happened to the doctor with a snake. A strange experience with the snake. Now, how we understood the theme, snake and the mirror? The connection between the snake and the mirror? A very strange experience happened to a doctor. This is the story, the snake and the mirror. Okay, dear children, now I'll show you a small video based on the story. The same story. We can watch this video. Okay.
The Snake and the Mirror by Vaikom Muhammad Bashir. It is the story of a doctor who has just started his medical practice. He earns a meager income and lives in a small rented room which is an outhouse with a tiled roof. The beam on which the gable is supported is full of rats which keep moving in and out of the room. The room has no electricity supply. One summer night, the doctor takes his dinner at a restaurant and returns home. As the doctor opens the door of his room, he hears a noise from above. But he does not react because he is used to such noises. He lights the kerosene lamp, takes off his coat, shirt and vest, and opens the windows. He takes out a medical book from the table drawer to read. He keeps it on the table on which a lamp, a large mirror, and a small comb are placed. He opens the book and sits down. As he's sitting in a chair in front of the mirror, he looks at his image. He thinks that, as he is not married and is a doctor too, he should look handsome to get a better match for himself. He decides to shave daily, grow a thin mustache, and keep an attractive smile on his face. Gradually, his thoughts shift from self-admiration to planning for his marriage. He thinks that he would marry a rich doctor having a good practice. He would choose a fat lady as his wife so that she would not be able to run fast and catch him in case she chases him for doing some mistakes. He's so engrossed in daydreaming that he does not pay attention to the sudden silence. The rats have stopped scampering and there is a sound of something falling behind him. It happens so instantly that he does not get any time to react. By the time he turns around to see, a snake has wriggled over the back of the chair and lands on his shoulders. It coils around his left arm so firmly that his arm starts aching. It is a dangerous cobra with its hood spreading out, hardly 3 inches from his face. He sits there like a stone statue, afraid to move, lest the snake may bite him. He thinks of various medicines he has to take in case the snake bites him. In this moment of fear of death, he realizes that God has punished him for being too proud and arrogant. The moment he accepts his true worth, the snake turns his head and looks into the mirror. The doctor thinks that maybe the snake is attracted towards its own beauty. That is why it is looking so carefully in the mirror. Slowly, it crawls off his body and creeps onto the table and moves towards the mirror, as if to enjoy its reflection in the mirror closely. As soon as the snake gets down from him, he quietly gets up from the chair, leaps through the yard and runs away to his friend's house. The next day in the morning, the doctor along with his 2 friends goes to his room to bring out his belongings from there. The room has been cleaned out. Some thief had removed most of his things the previous night and left behind his dirty vest, maybe to insult him.
Okay, dear children, you have seen the video, The Snake and the Mirror. Now we have to do some activities based on the story. After the class, you can go through the questions and answers and the activities given in the textbook. And in the next class, we will discuss about it. Okay, let us wind up this class here. Thank you.